Jackson on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, Jackson. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
A 2-yard loss. Brings up 3rd and 7.
On 3rd down, Jackson dancing to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So call off the pick 6.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
He's coming. We got double up.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Strong run, but they get to him just beyond the 40. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now he's going to let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he slides to avoid the hit. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11th. They'll run on first down. Ingram. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Jackson. Forced out to his left. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
That is caught inside the 5. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calais Campbell on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Open man is Westbrook, complete. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Ravens 31.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go, team. It's gonna be a lot.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st down, it's Ramsey. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
And the Jaguar 1st down.
Strong right, strong right, strong right.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Open man right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got it at the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Cannon. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Trenton Cannon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson being chased out left. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 48 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson. A minute 50 to go here in the first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Our first update now comes from Atlanta, and it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's make these big.
Jackson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. A throw left side complete to his receiver Westbrook. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jackson. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Jackson now. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throw left side complete. It's Grant. 12 yards there and a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike spoke. Come on, boy. Come on.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That's another Baltimore first down. 1st and 10.
Now Jackson on first down. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on to them. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Buying time, and he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Mike 48. I don't even know why this team showed up. 48.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to let this one go deep. It got his man complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A full 40 yards that time on 3rd down as the chains move with a lot of room to spare. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 27-yard line. Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his second touchdown on the season, and the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Jackson to throw on third down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Milano with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the third at MetLife Stadium. The Jets have just scored, so they've taken the lead in that ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They go play action here on first down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On second and 10, Jackson. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
From the 30 on second down, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. Jackson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens cut into that lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back.
Let's go, baby.
This is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That one good for 26 and a first down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just one pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Throwing on second down, Jackson. Dancing to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, third down.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Play action. Now Jackson. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Tighten up, tighten up.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. On the draw, this is Ingram. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll start on the ground with Cannon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing. It puts them in that position.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 64 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Jackson now. Going to throw again. Forced out to his left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 14. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right, and it's incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
12 yards there and a first down. And Jackson throwing once more. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go, D.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And you and I, we just looked at each other and kind of had the same thought.